It's Q&A time again. We have received so many questions from you guys, and I am going to answer them one by one. I haven't seen the questions that the team put together before, so let's dive right in. First question, why are eSmarts limited? Okay, Sebastian, I think you refer to the Ultimate E, our current generation BRABUS supercar, the smallest one that we have. But let me say it this way, the eSmart in itself is a limited car right now because Smart is moving production to China, and there will be less and less eSmarts in the market in the coming years. The Ford 2, the original Smart. The Ultimates have always been limited. There's production reasons, there is availability reasons, and it's simply because we are, just like in any other case, limiting our production so that it is an exclusive product. Next question. How is it looking with Formula One? The Mercedes-AMG team could use a BRABUS sizing. That's a good question. I don't think it's going to happen for two reasons. Number one, it's amazingly expensive. And let me say it this way, I know what I want to do in terms of marketing our brand and in terms of increasing our reach. But I think the most important is number two, we are a purebred luxury brand, and we have not had a racing focus anywhere in our history, so I don't think Formula One would be the right platform for BRABUS to advertise or compete. It's the luxury side of performance that we are interested in, and it's been like that for 45 years. Question by App Water Shots, where can I get that hoodie? Every single one of the clothing items that we do, you can find in the shop at brabus.com. Go to fashion and you will find everything that we have. Also, there's a few interesting pieces coming in. Also, you'll find it at Instagram, on Instagram at BRABUS Collection. Go check it out if you like it. Okay, here's another question by Sebastian, and it is, how do you think about the future of mobility and tuning? The problem with that question is we could do a video about this question alone, and it could be a 1 or 2 hour discussion. The future of mobility is going to be different than it is today. I think we're going to see a lot of e-mobility coming out in the next few years, but I don't think that is all there will be. There will be a lot of hybrids. There will be a lot of different forms of transportation, and geographically, if you take geography into account, there's a lot of regions in the world that have different contexts and need different kinds of mobility. Now, tuning. When I look at tuning in the future, then I'm actually not asking myself, will people tune their cars? I'm stepping back and I look at, will there be a need for individuality? Will there be luxury? Will people want to have their very own thing, whatever that is, a car, a kitchen, I don't know, a backpack, a handbag, whatever there is. I have a very simple opinion. I think there has always been luxury. I think there will always be the need to reward yourself with luxury. And in terms of individuality, I actually think that there has never been a stronger drive towards individuality, especially since the advent of social media. Well, that's a simple question. Can you cook? Cedric, can I cook?
No.
That is a destroying no. And he actually knows what he's talking about. I cannot cook one bit. If I cooked spaghetti, they would be very, very bad. Next question. At what point do you think BRABUS will be so big you won't be able to manage it by yourself? Now, that is an easy one, because that's been the case for a long time, and not because we're such a big company, but simply because I think that any business that goes beyond 8 or 10 people, you probably won't be able to manage by yourself, but it's a question how you define it. I would be nowhere, and I would get absolutely nothing done without a team of dedicated professionals, both in management and in any other area of the business. When I try to answer it honestly, I think that today we are managing BRABUS with approximately a team of 30 people. And compared to the size of the company, that would be roughly a 1 in 10 ratio. So we've passed that point some time ago, and I would never want to manage it alone. Next question. Definitely looking forward to learning about your company. I have nephews that I'm encouraging to have a healthy interest in cars and why quality is so important. Thank you very much. Quality is at the heart of everything that we do at BRABUS. And if you look at our brand core, which is a model that we use to evaluate products, It has 6 attributes, and in every single one of those 6 attributes, there is quality. Every time we deliver a car, it's only about the question of quality. Every time we design a process, it's only about the question of quality. Since I have become the CEO of this business, my number one mission has been to set a clear standard in both the products that we build and the work that we do in terms of quality, and to not let anything pass that isn't really up to the standard of the brand. And I can tell you it's a job that requires my full attention on a daily basis. Do you remember which was the first BRABUS supercar you drove? Did you have a driving license when you drove it? Now, my initial impulse was to say that of course I had a driving license, but I had not. I'm going to show you why. This is technically, I don't know if this is technically a BRABUS, but the very first BRABUS I drove was, can you guys see it? I don't know. Was this one. This is me and this is my dad. And I think this was my first driving lesson ever. And still this is one of my complete favorites. And that's why I keep it in my office. And that has been probably one of my first driving experiences. But jokes aside, I think I've driven every single one of our supercars across the years at one point or another. The first car that comes to mind would be an E-Class station wagon, 730 horsepower, absolutely massive car. And yes, I did have a driving license when I drove those. Which BRABUS supercar are you the most proud of? Jack, thank you for the question. I don't think I can name a single car. I can tell you which cars were the ones that I remember the most. I remember the first Rocket and being at the Nardo high-speed track. I remember the first EV12. I remember the Bullet. I remember the CV8 Coupe, which was a massively fast car, light and very, very fast. And, you know, of course, the historic ones, the 190E, the 500E, BRABUS-sized versions, all fascinating cars in itself, not even talking about the new ones. A car that has recently fascinated me completely is the XLP Super Black Edition, because we took the pickup that we built based on the G-Class Mercedes back to the roots, BRABUS-sized it in black, and put everything that we can do in terms of interior now in 2022 into that car. And it fused the DNA of BRABUS, the modern look that we have today with our history in a perfect way, and that fascinated me about the product. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a really cool car. Will BRABUS in the future go to designing and producing their own cars? Nalu Molope, thank you for the question. Let me say it this way: refining, changing, upgrading cars and building cars, building your very own car, they're two separate businesses. Not completely separate, but they're separate. And we've been on one side of that equation now for 45 years. However, I realized that those cars that have made BRABUS what it is today, the real iconic BRABUS supercars, they have been cars that definitely displayed their own identity, that definitely had a BRABUS identity. And so I know that in 22, 23, 24, 25, you are going to see the most complex builds, the most complex products that we have developed since the founding of BRABUS in 1977. Does that mean they will be our very own cars? Probably not. Does that mean we're going to move into that direction? Probably yes. How will it look? I can't tell you. I'm as excited about it as you are. But I know what we have coming this year, and there's some real surprises there. And I cannot wait to see you guys react to what we have planned. Hi Constantin, it's nice to see your innovations and new projects. I would love to see the new version of the BRABUS Bullet based on the C-Class. That's a good one. I've been discussing a new Bullet with Jörn and the engineering team for a while now, because it is a car that has fascinated me since we first built it. And maybe Cedric, we can put up some pictures of the old Bullet. A very C-Class based BRABUS supercar, lightweight in terms of lighter than an S, lighter than an E, lighter than most of the other big cars that we've built, and enormous power. And Therefore, very, very sporty, very fast car. So the naked truth is that we have so many projects and so many things to do and so many cars coming in that we want to create something out of, that I don't think a bullet C-Class based is going to happen with the current model. Honestly, we are working at full capacity and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it is a project that I'd love to see. I've been asking about it, and so far I've had no luck with that idea. BRABUS motorbike, question mark. Yes, absolutely. There were a few pictures before the release, but now it's of course officially out there. We have been building a BRABUS motorbike, the first ever BRABUS motorbike, BRABUS 1300R. It's turned out to be an absolutely fascinating product. We've done it in collaboration with the absolute motorbike experts and veterans of KTM in one of the most fun projects that I have done in the last couple of years. The 1300R is based on the 1290 Super Duke R Evo, so the largest, fastest street bike that KTM has to offer. It's an absolutely fascinating product. Now, first of all, there is a couple of different videos on it. There's the product story I've done with Hubert Trunkenpols, one of the board members of KTM. We're going to link that in the description. And there's also a walk around I did with Jörn Gander on the topic. And we're also going to put that in the description for you guys. We had 154 bikes, so 2 times 77 bikes to offer. 77 Magma Red, 77 Signature Black, 2 color schemes. Both were sold out in 1 minute and 55 seconds, which completely blew me away. I don't get up in the morning thinking we'll be successful. When it happens, I can only say that I'm extremely grateful for that. Now, the 2 discussions that I want to quickly highlight is the round headlight. I love the round headlight. This is of course a matter of taste. Some like the 1290 Super Duke design, front design. Some like the orange of the Super Duke. Some like the round design. Some like the red and black design of the BRABUS 1300R. And that leads me to the second point that I saw a couple of times, especially from the motorbike community. The people saying that this is not a 1290 Super Duke anymore, or asking, is this a 1290 Super Duke? And the answer is, of course, no. The intention behind the project was never to kind of create a tuned version of the Super Duke. The question was, how can we fuse the BRABUS and KTM brand DNA so that it becomes a BRABUS motorbike? And that is a theme we're going to see as a reoccurring, because the next couple projects are very clearly geared towards the question, what else can we do to create more BRABUS motorbikes? You know, the question is not how can we tune more KTM motorbikes, and that makes a difference from a design perspective. Fascinating bike, tons of videos out there, and a cool story that will continue in 2022. Will BRABUS be affordable for normal people anytime soon? In brackets, no hate. You guys are doing fun stuff. How can I possibly answer this? Okay, first, there is a lot of different BRABUS products. You know, our product range right now goes from the door pin or the Power Extra ECU, electronic power upgrade, to, that's a couple €1,000, up to the BRABUS Supercar, BRABUS Masterpiece, and of course things like high-end restorations of old timers for several millions of euros. Still, I kind of get where you're coming from. BRABUS is, however, a luxury brand. We've always been a luxury brand. We are a luxury brand, and we will probably be a luxury brand for the foreseeable future. And that means that our products are going to be high-tech. They are going to be high-end materials. They're going to use high-end materials. They are going to be limited, and that in turn means that it is probably going to be as expensive as it is today, or even a bit more expensive, because we are doing a very, very large part of what we're doing made in Germany. A large part of what we're doing is making things by hand, and that is simply not getting cheaper anytime soon. So But we are also, I'm working on the question every day because I don't think luxury products have to be that expensive. And again, thank you for the feedback. I will take it with me. As always, guys, this has been a blast. Thank you very much for the questions. Thank you for the comments. Please keep sending them in. Send me a direct message, send me a comment, tell me what you guys want to know about BRABUS. Tell me about the questions you have in regards to current BRABUS supercars, masterpieces, what questions you have about the new 1300R motorbike. Tell me what you want to see more. I am excited to hear from you guys, and we will keep doing Q&As throughout the whole of 2022. So I will see you in the next episode.